All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast here at theraiderland.com. That's where you start your morning. Except today, we were kind of derailed. We had stuff going on. I'll explain in a little bit, but it's all good tonight. We're in the Arctic Air studios. If your air is not Arctic, you know what to do. Call the Bear, callthebear.com, the website. Keep that, if you're in West Texas, keep that on your phone at all times and never worry. If anything goes wrong with the air conditioner or the heater, you can call them. They're going to be there for you. All right. We thank them for being a part of that. Brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic tonight. Can't say it legally. Like if their slogan was going to be something cool, it'd be something like, if your back's out of whack, don't call it quack, call Kevin Mack. I can't say that legally. I would not say that. That'd be cool though. Also by all of our great friends in Red River, New Mexico. We love going up there. Got some got one of our great listeners and viewers and David going up there this week. He's staying at Lifts West. It's fantastic. If he wants to go fishing, he calls Jeff Fagan, the best fly fishing guide in northern New Mexico. And then you want a cold beer, you go to Red River Brewing Company. I think we all know that. And then, of course, one of the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner places is Yesterday's Diner. So you're in the middle of Red River, and you go up like you're going to Cuesta, and then right there before you make that left turn, there's Yesterday's Diner. It is fantastic. One of the best breakfast you'll ever have. I get the enchiladas, the breakfast enchiladas, and make sure you get the egg on top. That's the only way to go. Christmas sauce on it. But they're not just that. They've got great lunch, great dinner, burgers, everything else. It's a cool 50s, 60s style diner. It's really got a great vibe. Dee and her crew are going to take care of you at Yesterday's. So please, the next time you're up there, go up there and have breakfast or lunch or whatever, and then tell Dee and her crew, thanks for being a part of Raiderland. I mean, we've been eating there for years and years. Uh oh, we got a guest showing up, an uninvited guest. It looks like. You gonna get up here, Finch, or not? You open the door to the office. All right, let's see how it is. All right, let's do it. Craig, the talking box is on. Indeed, everybody who is with us tonight, the order of the day when you jump in is let us know the audio is good, the video is good, and everything else is good. You can give us thumbs up, hearts, whatever you want to do. You can share this and invite people in on Facebook, like Craig, on YouTube. We have a huge YouTube audience, and we want to hear from you. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. Some supermarkets make a lot of money off you here and then send it down there to Austin. Some spend it right here in West Texas with Texas Tech. You make your choice. Thanks to United Supermarkets, everybody from Facebook to YouTube to Twitter, you guys can go. I'm sorry, X. I've been told I need to transition to X and all that. All the Western wear brought to you by Boot City, one money saving mile outside the West Loop. It is time to get ready for school. Jeans, shirts, they get it ready to go. So jumping here tonight. All right, let's talk about what we want to talk about tonight, which is the fact that Texas Tech ain't poor. All right. Texas Tech is not a poor school. Texas Tech is not a have not. Texas Tech is a have as much as there is a have. Now, how do we know this? Well, we've said this for years based on how they have spent money on facilities and everything else. But once again today, a glaring example that should reinforce one more time that Texas Tech ain't poor. We give you the transaction in softball today. Texas Tech announcing that Stanford softball ace Nigeri Kennedy, I think I've got it pronounced right, Player of the Year. She's transferring to Texas Tech. Everybody wanted her. She is the USA Softball Player of the Year. She is incredible. And she is coming to Texas Tech with an NIL deal of, wait for it, $1,050,000, $24.00 with the Texas Tech Collective Matador Club, signing with the Red Raiders, according to a person familiar with the deal. I read from The Athletic. I read from multiple sources. John Sellers, co-founder, Matador Club. Let's go Canyon Eagles. I was an Eagle before you, John. It's a game changer for softball and even beyond that She could have gone anywhere. She's coming to Tech. I'm not going to read you her bona fides. She's as good as anybody in the country, as good as anybody in America, the most highly regarded softball player in America. She's coming to Texas Tech. According to a person with knowledge of the negotiations, the highest NIL deal they had heard of previously for a softball pitcher was $175,000. I'll say again, $1,050,000, $24. I would love to know how it ended up on that number. Well done. It's absolutely unprecedented for an annual compensation for a D1 softball player, said Blake Lawrence, COO, Open Doors, a company that facilitates, for those of you in Muleshoe and Littlefield, that means they make things happen and manage NIL deals. This is 10 times higher than the biggest figure ever we have seen at Open Doors. For college softball players, there are very few six-figure players, and they are barely into the six figures. So we ask you again to tell me again what Texas Tech is poor. No, Tech ain't poor. The money's there. The money is there on football. It's there on basketball. The Matador Club NIL is making it happen. Now, this is also very interesting. And, it was brought to my attention by two different people, and I can't say either of their names because they're highly public in profile in West Texas and Texas Tech. But it went back to the Aaliyah Chavez recruitment. And with her, the, massive standout at Monterey going into her senior year, 6 teams down, Tech one of them. Where does that put Tech in that? Well, it tells you they're not going to be outbid. If Chavez doesn't come to Lubbock, it's not because Tech didn't have enough money. Not because Krista Gerlich went to the Matador Club and they said, no, we don't spend money on women's sports. We only spend money on football. That's called the SEC. The advantage that Texas Tech has right now is you're sending a message in women's sports anyways that, yeah, we'll pay you just like we'll pay the male athletes. This has also been a huge day on the NIL and compensation front with the House settlement. Houston Christian had their lawsuit thrown out today by a judge, and basically the judge said, you don't have standing and you're never going to have standing. And unless you're one of the Power 5 teams and you want to dispute this, you're never going to have standing. I wish I had time to get into it today. But what I want to talk about with you today is those people out there that still think Texas Tech doesn't have money. You got money. You're not losing out because you ain't got money. Craig, going up to Red River in October, you guys can get in on the United Supermarkets text line. One of the reasons why Texas Tech has money, by the way, United Supermarkets at Market Street. Alan is jumping in on YouTube. We've got YouTube. Where the hell are my Twitter people? We have massive numbers on Twitter. You guys can get in. You can comment. You just got to comment on the video feed that you got to click on once you're watching on Twitter. If you hit us on Twitter, that's great. I'll get to it later. But you got to click on Twitter to get to the video feed to comment thanks to our third-party streaming apparatus, which is really good. And everybody who's watching right now, if you want to do one thing for our great sponsors like Arctic Air, like McAlpin Chiropractic, like all of our friends in Red River, from yesterday's diner to, Jeff Fagan, great fishing guide. Share this right now. Share it. Invite people in. Alan, society is crumbling. Nobody knows who the president is. Why not pay a softball player $1 million? Nothing matters anymore. Eat Arby's. If you eat Arby's, here's my pro tip. About 10 years ago plus, I was coming back from doing a high school football game for a shallow water playoff game, and I stopped at the Arby's there in Sweetwater. That's on the south side of the road, I think, coming back. And it just seemed like a good idea to get a beef and cheddar. I love beef and cheddar. I was starving, I was hungry, and I'm driving by myself. And if I had been pulled over 15 minutes later, they would have asked where the freaking body was. I had Arby's sauce and cheddar and all over the place. It was awful. Good Lord, that is not road food. I knew that. I was hungry. I learned my lesson. That was not road food. Arby's beef and cheddar, not road food. Hold on, I got to go back up here. I hate it when we go too far and all of a sudden I can't scroll back up. Craig, what are the chances Tech gets the girl basketball player from Monterey? Well, her name's Leah Chavez. She's one of the best players. It's not a girl basketball player. She's a women's basketball player. But anyhow, I'd say about 20%. You got 6 other schools. Among the schools that she's looking at, you have the worst resume on the court the last 10, 15 years. So you have to bank on a little hometown love, a little belief in Krista Gerlich, a little belief that if I go here, I can help turn around a program, and then a whole lot of love from the NIL. I'd say about 20%. And if she doesn't come to Tech, people are going to freak out and say Krista Gerlich screwed up, couldn't even get her, and that's just a bunch of crap. Because Marcia Sharp didn't get Cheryl Swoops. Oh, that's right. Marcia Sharp didn't get Cheryl Swoops. Just down the road, Brownfield. What was it? 2-time state champion, best player. She went to Texas. She came home. She came back, but she didn't get her. So there's that. Stacy, Texas Tech did a good thing getting Kennedy. Yeah, with the C. Yeah, absolutely getting Kennedy. Did a good thing, did a great thing. Program changer, program elevator, and a force multiplier now in the Big 12 with Oklahoma and Texas out of the Big 12. That's a league on women's softball, which is the only league they play in the Big 12. It's wide open. There's nobody out there standing in front of you that's inherently better than you right now if you can make it happen. Chris, if Chavez doesn't come to Tech, it won't be because of money. Exactly. 100%. James, did you hear the news of the scholarship numbers going up? Baseball to 34. I did. Football to 105. Basketball to 15 on the men's side. It's been 15 on the women's side, I think, for a while. About 20 years, 25 years. In baseball, you can now give up to 34 full scholarships. No more 11.7 equivalency. 34 full scholarships. That's it, though. No walk-ons, nothing else. Now, you don't have to give 34 full. You could give 20 full, and the rest are walk-ons or whatever. But the days of equivalency are done. We're going to wait to see how this plays out and what it means and who it benefits and who it affects over the next year. It certainly won't hurt Texas Tech. It won't hurt Texas Tech. Going to be interesting to see, though, like a Coastal Carolina, a Long Beach State, you know, not with the Gauchos or no, I don't know. Cal Irvine. I'll be very interested to see on the baseball front how this cannibalizes a little bit of the middle, helps D2 in JUCO. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's big, and that's the key. You don't have to give 34. You can. You can give 34. You don't have to. So 104. That's by the way, the end of walk-ons in college football. That's it. No more. No more walk-ons in college football. Everybody's on scholarship. Nobody's walking on. That's it. So for those of you who love the great stories of Nebraska football in the 1970s and 80s, and Corey Schlesinger, he played 8-man football out there at Shiprock and came in, or Grand Island or Hastings or whatever. Yeah, it's over. David Collier, who's on TV, like real TV, I mean like TV. I'd like to welcome all the local media members that haven't given a flip about covering softball for the last 20 years to the game. I can give you directions to Rocky Johnson Field if you need directions. I know exactly who you're talking about. Hey, I really don't think you'll have a sportacular day there at Rocky Johnson anytime soon. Bring back potato cakes. No. Football guy is dumb enough to be mad at Tech for paying big money to a softball player. No, I don't think football guy is. I think football guy gets it. Now, football guy in the SEC, and this is kind of the interesting thing here. Tech's outbidding SEC. You know, Chavez could be the next Swoops attack. Yeah, we talked about that. We put that out there. Geez, did you not read the Twitter feed? I said this would be like Cheryl Swoops coming to Texas Tech to play basketball after she had played basketball at Texas Tech and put together all of her accolades and awards, and then came back and played at Texas Tech. What the hell, Alan? David Collier is a full scholarship media guy. No, he's not. He's like 3/4. He gets paid in honey buns and coffee. I've seen that man drink hotel coffee, like hotel lobby coffee. No, motel lobby coffee. I've seen David Collier drink coffee out of just a thing in a motel in Omaha, Nebraska at like 4 in the morning. Jeez. I'll go get you something. At least I would order pizza at 2 in the morning, and the only place in Omaha that would deliver, they would still bring it to us. We didn't die. But that man, David Collier, that man, look at him go. 4 in the morning, editing downstairs. Who scarfs down food faster, Collier or Don? Don Williams, not even close. Collier even kind of picks at his food just a little bit. He's patient. He's not one to just dive in on something. He's going to see what we got going on. He orders deliberately. Now, Don, on the other hand, Don can destroy food like you can imagine. I watched him during breaks in the Williams and Hyatt show. Like a 2.5-minute break, he could walk in with a Dairy Queen box of steak fingers, tacos, or whatever, and down everything. It was disturbing. It was scary as hell, and that's why we liked it. Yeah, it's not even close. Not even close. I mean, Collier's not an animal. Don Williams is an animal when it comes to food. Collier, he's moderately refined. And that's what happens when you get married and have kids. See, Don never got married, so Don remains an animal today. So we can talk about Texas Tech not being poor. We can talk about Texas Tech fans hopefully understanding that you can exist in this world of NIL. And the Nigeri Kennedy signing today should be another example of that. Schools that don't have money don't spend $1 million on a softball pitcher. They don't. You've got money. So now it opens up another discussion as we enter into the back half, and we'll go as long as it's interesting. You get your comments and questions in. Twitter, where the hell are the Twitter people tonight? Where are the Twitter people here on the 24th day of July? I know we're in deep summer. I get it. I understand. I almost took the day off, but it was too good with the Nigeri. Is it Nigeri? Nigeri? I like Nigeri. It was too good to talk about this because we've talked about it for so many years that Tech fans walk around and, wearing ashes and sackcloth thinking you'll never compete. And I'm sick of it. Don Williams orders 3 things. That's it. I like to venture out. You do venture out. I've seen you venture out. Wild. Crazy. So this should, as we transition into something else, as James says, the money in tossed lawsuit is a step closer to a super conference. Yeah. Every day is a step closer to a super conference, but it's not a conference, James. It's football. Super football. Everything else will remain and, in fact, actually contract into smaller conferences. Football only, basketball, everything else. Live it, learn it, understand it. That's the way it's going to be. It'll transition, but football only up here. 50, 60, 70 teams, whatever. Those schools, they're basketball playing schools and whoever they invite, and they'll run their own tournament, and they'll have whatever teams, and then everything else. Your mistake. We're not going to allow that again. Tim Tadlock, are you listening? Are you watching? The conversation for the last year and a half plus has been that the money is there for baseball to do exactly what we're seeing with softball right here. The conversation has been that Tim Tadlock has been either reluctant or flat out unwilling to take advantage of the largesse that Sellers, Campbell, and others are willing to provide. That's going to have to change. For Texas Tech baseball to get back to Omaha, for Texas Tech baseball to elevate, Tim Tadlock is going to have to embrace, not just accept, but embrace and flat out do what Glasgow just did on softball. You want them, you got to buy them. Now we have a new paradigm introduced with the scholarship limit going from 11.7 to 34 in baseball. How will that affect NIL? It will not. You'll have the ability to give guys scholarships, and then they still are going to have their hand out. You're going to have to spend the money. Texas Tech is going to have to spend the money on baseball. They're going to have to do exactly what other programs that Texas Tech has done. Now, did you lose out on players the last 2 years specifically and only on NIL? No. There are a myriad of reasons. But what you've got to do if you're Tim Tadlock going forward, you've got to access the money that you have that is there, and you've got to wield it and you've got to do it. And if you're uncomfortable with that, and I say this, I love Tim Tadlock. Tim Tadlock and I were at Texas Tech at the same time. I told the stories. He was in school. I was in school. I'm calling games for the college, radio station. He's playing, all that good stuff. We're in New Mexico State, same weekend, February 1990, crazy stuff going on. I'm not going to tell the story about what happened in a hotel room there at Days Inn. Nobody needs to know about the furniture that was broken and the WWF, reenactments that were going on. Nobody needs to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that tonight. Hi, how you doing? What? Yeah, there's a cat in here. Yeah, you want a cat? Take a cat. Wife is getting the cat out of the got a cat house going on here. Steven Tyler. Oh my God, Nacho Hendrick knows the story. Anyhow, you're not poor, but Texas Tech baseball, I think, is the last program that has to embrace this. And I'm trying not to be really unfair to Tim Tadlock and the process that he has and everything else, but you're going to have to spend money. And you got the money. It's out there. You're going to have to do it. Let's see. Joseph, it has been proven out that you can go to Tech, cash in, get to the next level in all sports. Top prospects coming in will attract more top prospects. I agree. That's one aspect of the relationship now. But now, top prospects, it's not only about going to the next level, Joseph. It's about getting paid while you're at this level. Now, you get out of high school. And by the way, high school kids are going to be getting NIL in Texas damn soon. And maybe even this year. I don't know. Did they? I mean, my son missed it by a year, I think. So high school kids are going to get NIL. They're going to be making money in high school. Then they're going to want that money, Joseph, when they get to Tech. In each step of the rung of the ladder, each rung of the ladder, they're going to want that money. You got to pay the freight. And if you can't, you're out. Tech can't. I think, said David Collier, the only difference, you can pay $1 million for the best softball player in college, and that could lead you to Oklahoma City. You can pay $1 million for the best baseball player. You might not even host a regional. Okay, that's a fair assessment that you have to now manage your salary cap, which is why every program at Texas Tech should have a general manager going forward. You're going to have somebody, you have to have a position going forward that manages your cap, your NIL, and the money that's going to be spent, how it's going to be spent. I agree with that right there, that, $1 million might get you Paul Skeens, but then do you have anybody else? I agree with that. Freaking Nacho Hendrick. Good to see him still alive. Heard he had problems. Randy Collier and some of Moneybags in town need to pony up and pay these players. Yeah, okay. Collier, he's a rich guy. He's on TV. Everybody on TV is rich. I think we all know that, right? All right, now this time of year, not everybody jumps in while we're on live. So I want you guys to retweet this, share this on Facebook, put this out there. The replay people, everybody else. It's illegal at the moment. It's going to change. I guarantee you that. And I'm not. Is it illegal at the moment? I'm not sure, but it's going to change real fast. Now I want you guys to share this. I want you guys to put this out. The thing you can do for me, for Arctic Air, our great sponsor, the studio sponsor, McAlpin Chiropractic, all of our friends in Red River, United Supermarkets. If you guys can share this every night, put it on your Facebook feed, put it out there on Twitter. That's great. Now, we also archive this on our website, theraiderland.com, and you can share that page, which is cool too. That's the great thing I ask you guys to do to grow Raiderland. That each day we do all sorts of cool stuff. We'll never charge you a subscription fee or anything to be a part of Raiderland. All right? We will never do that. You'll never have to pay some sort of, whatever fee to be a part of it. If you feel like you have to do that to get information, that's fine. Whatever. We'll never do that because you guys are too cool and our sponsors are absolutely fantastic and we don't have to do that. Premium content is always free. Alan is right. We don't have to do that. But what allows us to do that are great people like you that share it. Yeah, okay. The friendship feed, that's totally different, David. By the way, you're behind $6.99, I believe. $6.99 every Thursday. So it's tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow, lunch, $6.99. Jeez. Chat's free too. It's all free. But if you guys could just, do us a solid, help us out. All right, we're going to get out of here. Texas Tech ain't poor. You guys aren't poor. Tech has money. Spread the word. And yes, Nacho Hendrick, I was in a car that damn near killed Steven Tyler in February of 1990 in Las Cruces, New Mexico. If you watch Behind the Music, you probably saw the video. And I'm not even embarrassed to admit it at this point. And that's not even why they arrested us coming back to Texas Sunday night there in Plains, New Mexico. That was totally unrelated. Thank you, Dagger Dan Vaughn. See you guys in the morning. It was fun. Hold on. What am I doing? Ending the stream. I hit buttons. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just